Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. As you can see on my YouTube thumbnail, maybe you can't see it, but the court reporter finally did respond after going through the rigmarole of having to contact somebody else, and they replied back to me. The problem is, I didn't know it was going to cost $750. Now, I don't expect any of you to even care about this, so don't feel obligated to donate. But I have my link in the description. I don't know if it even works through YouTube. I'm not even sure how this actually does, anything. I'm looking at it right now to see if it's even possible. I'm gonna do this, and then I'll go into the actual description itself, and I'll check it. I'll check it live to see if it actually is working. Because let's see, Tectone. I'm not. I mean, I listen. I could do this, but I think if we subsidize it, I'll pay 40 if you guys all if there's enough donations until 710. I'll pay my fair share. Don't get me wrong. I just am not gonna sit here and do that because I do believe they'll be available at some point. But if we can get them before anybody else, that'll be kind of cool, in my opinion. I've never asked for this kind of stuff. I know other content creators do. For myself, although I could pay for it myself, although yet would like pay for it myself, yet would like yet would like to try and subsidize the cost. Let's see, what am I gonna put it as? No, and then we'll put it as Zenless on 0 today, just because I have no idea if it's popular or not. Okay, so that's in. I'm gonna check to see if it's actually showing up on my.
If I could call.
Sorry about that. All right, so my click it. Yeah, my that will work. For you to donate if you're gonna donate to me for the transcripts. Like I said, she's the one requesting the Venmo. That has nothing to do with me, by the way. The Venmo is completely on her. And apparently it's above board. I looked online. I asked ChatGPT if this was a normal thing for court reporters to ask for, and yeah, it's right in that standard fare. So it's not like trying to get one up on me. This is what you'd have to pay for this kind of thing, and I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna have to pay for it, except potentially Tectone. Pink might just get copies of it regardless. All the court fees and stuff. It's probably part of that, and it's probably subsidized to be cheaper for them than it would be for anybody else. But I'm not even sure if that's the case. Like, they may have to pay the full price for it as well. Let me just click on. Let me go to Twitch real quick just to get this on there, if you don't mind. Oh, I said Tecton. I said Tecton, guys. I said Tecton. Tectone. Tectone. It was very quick. I did this very quick. At Tectone at Pichu at. I'll bring her in here in a second. Spy just wants to hang out with me. My dog is crying for me. I just got back from doing my errands. That's why I had to leave early. That's why I couldn't even do a thumbnail for my other video, even though it's doing better without one, which I kind of knew that in a way. I kind of knew it does that. It's kind of weird like that. Zenless. She's still crying? Yeah, I'm coming. Hold on. And then Withering. I'll go get her real quick before I do anything else. I already did Withering. So what is the other one I'm missing? Okay. I said Steam stream. Venmo. This is gonna seem such a scam. Which is totally fine. Which is totally fine. Um, it's whatever. Uh, believe me, don't believe me. It don't matter. Like I said, I've never asked for this before, so. Oh, my computer shut off, huh? What's going on with that? Yo, bro, you sleeping? Why ain't you on? What's your issue? Something happened to it. We'll reset it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My dog's in my room. I don't know if she's gonna act up or not. She was good last night. Did Denims get the docs? We'll go look there in a minute. Hold on. I'm just finishing this up. All right, I'm back. All right. Let's check Denim's stream and see if she actually did it. If not, I'll change. If she did, I'll change my title. I don't know if they got the transcripts or not. Let me go back and see. I hate going to her. I don't like Denims. I'm glad she's covering up though.
On the Casey-tron video, the Casey-tron ISIS-style hostage video. He was so excited to jump on that one. He was so excited. Actions finally have consequences. Get fucked. You think he'll make it? You think he'll make it?
Oh, they don't post it for the day, huh? They make you watch live. Yeah, that's some bullshit.
You think he'll make one? I'm sure that he would.
Somebody let me know if she has them or not.
Sure that he would make one. No, because that's just too much drama.
Let me go to Twitter.
And you know he hates drama. Can you imagine falling for this shit? Can you imagine being an Asmongold fan and being like, no, he means it. He means it. He's a very consistent person. He's very consistently inconsistent, okay? Okay, but Tectone might be a sexual abuser.
What was she saying?
So does anyone know how to get a necklace that's stuck
Silence.
off? Because
Silence. It's literally the you guys have seen. Have you guys seen this photo, this meme? Yeah, I may be blank, but you were mean, and that's worse. Yeah, Tectone might be a sexual predator, but you were mean to my favorite podcaster, and that's worse. That's worse. Sash. I want to quit my job because my coworker watches him. Oh, I think you should suggest to them a lobotomy if they haven't already gotten one. Oh my god. At least he. Oh, and sorry, the other thing, you wouldn't even need to AI images for a thumbnail for Mr. Tone here. There are so many shots of him crying about his.
I'm not doing
father.
this. I'm not.
You could use.
She doesn't have any. She doesn't have. She doesn't have the ability to go back in her recordings because she wants people to stay live, which is whatever. Everybody's saying Tectone's over, but do they have the actual? I mean, I'm not saying that they need them. Obviously, they can just kind of have that narrative, but I would rather have the transcripts to go over exactly what was said, to kind of like put a nail in this and be done with it. I don't see them, and there's not a lot of people that I can see just by searching Tectone that there's a lot of people covering him right now in the titles. So I don't see that they acquired them. Let me just change my camera angle. I know it's kind of annoying for you guys. Hold on one second. Let me show you what I'm doing. Okay. So. Nana, no crying. You a dada. Tectone transcripts. Anybody got them? No. Chud Logic is such an idiot. These are not transcripts, asshole. You're a lying. Wait, what is this? Nobody has them. Oh, XQC picked up Chud Logic content. He's a happy man. Nice little boost at his views. All right. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to show you the email. Actually, should I show you the email? I've already redacted some of it. It's in the thumbnail, right? But essentially, let me put on a notepad, actually. Imagine my notepad being as bad as Lakari's. Oh, that's too bad. This is my nerd level notepad. All right, this is what was sent to me from the court reporter, right? 1 second. I just don't want her personal information to be out there, just in case. Even though it's public. You can find out. You can find it. As soon as I get this, I will buy it. All right, so that's the that's what she said. This is what I said, and I have some personal information here too that I have to redact. This was me formally requesting the letter. All right. I know I actually said where I can be reached and stuff like that as well, but I'm not going to add that to this, or I'm not going to try to. Maybe I'll do it on mistake. Get my phone number out and dox me really good. All right. This is what I said. What I requested is this. What the court reporter requests for. Now, I do believe Miskiff might buy these to be released. Okay? So I'll keep on referring to that whenever people ask, just so that they know I didn't pick Venmo. And I don't want to get donated anywhere else besides Venmo, because I'm just going to literally transfer my funds from Venmo to her. And then anything over that I'll refund back to I'll just kind of randomly pick and choose whoever. I don't know how this all works. I don't know how it all works. Just I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated so you don't have to donate anymore. And then I'll stop the link if it gets to that point. The whole point, not of this stream, because we can do other things, we will, is to try to get these. And I don't think anybody else has them. And I want to go over them. There's 220 pages. 225 pages of these. And most of it will just like be procedural stuff like, you know, I, he, here, there, oh, there, I, we, objection, sustained. Like, I get that. A lot of it's going to be fluff, but there's some meat and potatoes here that we want to get to. And I don't think I can just request, although I don't know. It's like $6 per page or something like that. It's pretty high. So even if I did, it would still be a pretty big number. I'm not sure if you can request a certain amount or not. So that's where we're at. Okay. So in the meantime, we can still talk about the new information that came out. I did a video on it, obviously, about finally Mugen and Braxophone trying to get ahead of it because they know how bad it's going to be for them once these transcripts get released, because they want to say, don't believe Miskiff's notes. And that's fine. I get it. Listen, Miskiff is not the greatest narrator. He's not the most truthful narrator, right? So there's definitely some things in there that might not be accurate. But now, all of a sudden, just before they're going to come out, because they know now, because the snowstorm, the delays, they know people actually are in contact with these people. They know now they're going to come out. And so now they're scared. And so now they're going to take that measured approach, which is what all these people do, and they're going to have their statement. And I can read their statement here because they didn't have time to do it before. And we can break that down. So let's do that. Let's break that down. Okay? Let's break that down. Let me my dog is unhappy today. Nanny, you okay? What do you need? You did everything you needed to do. Hi, Bubba. You okay? Let me try to give her water. Honey, it's okay. Don't be sad. You having a hard day today? Yeah? One of those days? I know. I'm right here. And you get upset when I leave. I get it. I love you. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, old girl. Okay. I know. Boy, oh boy. All right. All right, let's break this down. So apparently they're going to be like, oh, because I saw this. Sexual assault and stalking, okay? Because of that was the fines in the court. Therefore, somehow, that's enough to walk away. When we already knew that we knew that this was going to be in favor of Pink Chew. Based on the court documents that were leaked yesterday, we knew that the court provided a preliminary. I don't know if it's called injunction or. Oh, anyway, they provided a protective order on that day. So, either way, all right. Cutting all ties with Tectone. I've known about everything even before it was a lawsuit, as far back as Q4 2024, when he did what he did to the victim was incredibly disturbing and unforgivable. And any reasonable human being with the slightest hint of morals would feel sick to their stomach when they heard the full details. Over the last year plus, Tectone has attempted to rebrand himself as a patriotic American who deeply cares about God, country, and family. I've called him out on this, by the way. Whenever he said and tried to defend the troops of from like Hassan and Frogan and all this stuff, which is totally fine, by the way. It's totally fine to do that. He was doing it to gain favor, to gain support, to right-wing grift, which is apparently going to be in the transcripts, okay? Grifting himself into an entirely new friend group, all while deliberately targeting a new breed of followers who defend him no matter what. Well, okay. You know what? That's a lie right there, Mujin. All right. You currently are benefiting from your followers that you've had. You've not had to grift to get new followers. Braxophone has his followers in the gotcha space. Tectone didn't need to grift to get new followers. He had plenty of people that were there beside him, even when he started right-wing grifting. Did he get a few more? Yes. Ultimately, he did, especially when he went to Kick and all these other platforms. Like, that was another aspect of this as well. He'd made sure of this by constantly training and preparing them to hear bad things about him, twisting reality into a fan fiction about how people were only after him due to his political views, even though he was innocent and just wanted to be left alone. So yeah, blaming political beliefs as a way that you're being targeted when in reality it's obviously for legitimate stuff. Came from your recent video. Thanks for this covering. Hey, no problem, Nathan's. You're welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Anytime someone would bring up what the victim said about him, he'd say that he'd always had lawyers going after her, that it was only a matter of time before the court would prove his innocence, and that any OnlyFans should never be believed. Mind you, he was the one who encouraged her to make an account there in the first place, and he would often gloat about it to other gotcha creators. You know what? You know what, Mujin? We're done. We're done. This narrative will not stand for me. You sir, you sir, and I had a hard time atting you earlier too. I'm really kind of upset about this too. I don't know what kind of deal you have with YouTube to try to like circumvent my ad ability, but let's just be very clear, Mujin. There ain't no fucking way in this God's green earth that you did not have an opinion on Tectone before this. Let's go over your coverage in the last year. Let's see what you write about, Mujin. And you sitting here now, acting like now it's time for you to come out and try to distance yourself from Tectone. Let's see what you've done over the past year. How one small streamer annihilated 3 popular bullies overnight. How V2 and biggest grifter got bullied off the internet. How to fake an entire esports career without ever playing. How PETA turned an entire country against it overnight. A deep dive into a canceled VTuber bully. A deep dive into self-inflicted downfall of Miskip. How our VTuber bullying backed on it horrendously. How, it just goes on and on and on and on. You live in this space. You know how these people act. And yet you sit there. You sit there with this statement that you have and try to act like you are now just realizing this. Ain't nobody believe that, friend, unless, of course, goes back to what your statement was about having followers who defend you no matter what. Unless you yourself have followers that defend you no matter what. And guess what? You do. Also, may you link to court documents if you have them. I don't have them, Nadens. I don't have them. I never publicly got them. I am trying to get the transcripts, though. I am trying to get the transcripts. And this is the update to that, okay? I have been trying to get the transcripts for the week starting Monday, and I finally got to the person that has them, but it's $750. So I'm starting a Venmo donate campaign so that when I get the money, because they want it Venmoed, and I have the pay to person address here. So when I get the money, I'll give it to her. I probably won't, and Miskip will probably get it before then. So sorry about that. Well, Tectone, the final court hearing lasted for 7 hours. And throughout it all, even after spending an obscene amount of money hiring an ex-judge that had been appointed by the governor of Texas himself, as well as 4 other extra attorneys assisting him, you managed to catastrophically lose to one woman who simply hired one lawyer in a case where the odds were heavily in your favor. So the legal mindset comes out and said that this 4th district, is favoring women with domestic violence. If you can believe what Ms. Kiv said about the transcripts, that had nothing to do with it. His lawyers couldn't even save him because when he got on stand, when he actually became a witness in his own trial against him, he literally destroyed his entire case. He talked about coercive control. He talked about consent, non-consent. He talked about all these things. He could have pled the 5th. He could have denied. He could have walked it back. He could have done all these things that he, even under oath, these tactics that should have been, if you were a good lawyer, and he had 5 of them, trained. You can't be, okay, so clarification here, okay? Obviously, a lawyer cannot tell you to lie on the stand, right? But they can tell you how to say things. They can, how to approach things. They're gonna basically say, this is what the prosecutor is gonna say, and this is how you can respond to that based on the evidence that you provided here, the information that we know that you're innocent. This is how you can respond. He definitely did not do that. He did a Trump. He went off script, and that hurt him more than anything. Not the bias of the 4th District Court in Travis County. Listen carefully when I say this. I know women who have tried and failed to get restraining orders against stalkers that endanger their lives daily, all while presenting substantial evidence. You know what's crazy though? This was not even a restraining order. This was his upgraded version used for exceptional cases, a protective order made on the basis of sexual assault. It's something that's extremely hard to prove, and the fact that the judge gave him a whopping 10 years is unprecedented. It's usually 2 years. It truly shows how much of a danger he's considered in regards to her safety, but of course, he'll choose to downplay this all as some sort of left versus right with political matadrome. Ooh, man, this is a pretty sophisticated word. As if he's Johnny Depp and she's Amber Heard. Yeah, that's the That's definitely part of the playbook. The official court order is now finally public. You can see the main details and verdict in the tweet I quoted down below. Yes, okay, so that is. Transcript will follow very soon, but I will not mention or share it as it most likely contains some extremely personal details for both parties involved, medical records being one of them. I don't know. I think this will be suppressed potentially. Let it be known that from this point onwards, anyone still caught defending Tectone is purposely ignoring the facts for what most likely is a desperate and pathetic attempt at gaining favor or clout. As for me, I'm sure you might be wondering, why did I choose to only speak up now? Well, it simply wasn't my place to do so. But more importantly, protective order court cases are infamously difficult for the victim, especially in the state of Texas. Saying or even hinting about anything could have very easily endangered the entire case. Okay. If I believe you're sympathetic to this, it's null and void by all these other things that you've talked about. All right, you talked about Miskiff and his trial still pending. You have no issues. All right, you have no issues talking about other people and victims before anything is settled in court. So obviously this is just a scapegoat response, and in my opinion, of course. Okay. Furthermore, seeing that Tectone is most likely a psychopath who also happens to be a schizophrenic who doesn't take his medications, assumably, I don't know if that's the case, and had a sizable gun collection, I couldn't even pretend to completely cut ties with him. The victim was in constant daily fear for her safety, and I wasn't about to make it worse by having him. Oh my God. Of course. Mujin, this sounds so much more desperate than it should. Especially since he constantly threatened to leave leaked videos taken of her without her consent if she dared to speak out. You know what? Now you're sounding like you're the hero, that you did it to save her life, because if you spoke up, you don't know what he was going to do, because then he would be against the wall. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Again. Exhibit. Yeah, Litter Chain. That's how much it is. That's how much. I trust me. I was surprised as you are. This is the email that I got right here. I can have the final transcript emailed to you by this afternoon. The total amount for 205 pages will be $750, and payment can be sent via Venmo. Please let me know. And let me just show you. Let me just show you as well. Let me follow this up, just so you know that I'm not pulling your. I'm not that I'm asking you to donate, because I'm not asking you to donate, or anybody to donate. It's just an offer, okay? Let me just show you what I looked up while I was in the car, because I had some errands to run. Let me just show you what I looked up earlier today. Here we go, right here. I'm going to show you this. This is a previous result that I looked up, okay, earlier today. What is being asked of the price is actually normal. So this is not this is not her trying, or this is not them trying to pull one over on me. This is what's normally asked for transcripts, especially of this length. It was apparently a 7-hour trial. Yeah, I will wait for that, but I don't think anybody else has it. So if we can get it before everybody else, that'll be great. And I'm subsidizing it now. I understand if you're not going to support or donate. It's just out there if you guys want to. I don't expect it. And if somebody else gets it before this, I will obviously refund all those donations back, and then yeah, and I'll close out my my donation stream. I'm not here to look for money for myself. I'm just trying to subsidize that. All right. And finally, to really put salt in the wound to any of the same tired excuses that will undoubtedly keep coming out to defend him, no, the victim did not do this for clout. Seeing that he has way more followers than she has way more followers than Tectone, she almost definitely did not do this for money. Seeing that she makes significantly more than him too, something that really pisses me off. This was simply done because the guy couldn't stop mentioning and slandering her every single time he went live, seriously, and that because he had a general fear for her safety. That is true. Okay, at least this is the one time that I will agree with Muchin and not have any caveats. This was the stupidest thing Tectone ever did in his entire life. Kept on mentioning her over and over again. You know why he kept on mentioning her over and over again? Let me full screen this. Why? You know why he did that? Because these Andrew Tate, Trump loving, lolly giving Creeps. Love that. They love the red meat. OnlyFans. OnlyFans this. Girls that. They're so bad. They're so toxic. They destroy men's lives. That's why. That's why they love it. They love it. And you know what happens when you're a content creator who has a good enough audience? Money, engagement, donations, promotions, sponsors. That's what happens. That's why they do it. That's why they feed the red meat crowd. They love it. So they can't stop. They can't stop talking about it because it emboldens them, and then it keeps them safe too. It keeps them safe. Trump says everything he's ever done during his political campaign and while he's president, it saves him. Acts like he could never have done it, or he's not scared of anybody. Well, the court came for Tectone, and he doesn't have a pardon currently, so from Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump pardoned himself, so he got away with his crimes. You know what? I'd say that that's warranted, given that after losing the case, he'd go as far as leaking private court documents to his Discord moderator. I know, man. So there's that happening too. And apparently that's how people got some of this stuff, okay? Who then leaked them to the public through his Discord servers, which turned doxed her current residential address to God knows how many people. Very classy. This is huge. And this probably will see some retaliation from Pink Chew's lawyer because this will not be hard to track based on who leaked the documents and how that chain of command actually worked. And once they did this, and we all know this, did you guys not see the senator that got assaulted by the gentleman there? This is what happens with these crazy people that you fanatilize and that you energize, that you say that you're innocent, and then when these women come out and actually prove that you're guilty, they get all riled up. And all it takes is one of them to go to Pink Chew's address and actually start something, and that's a serious problem. And that's exactly what the intention was, potentially, because you wouldn't want to do that otherwise. At least when I reacted to Mizkif's, I knew that he redacted all that information. That's why I went to his alone, and I don't want that information. When I formally asked for the transcripts, here's the line. I am formally requesting access cause. If you have a redacted version for personal information, I would prefer the redacted version, is what I was saying. If you have a redacted version for personal information, I would prefer that. I asked for I want a redacted version of the documents. I do not want to know any of this. I don't want to have to deal with it. Obviously, I don't have to redact it myself, but I just don't want to know the information to begin with. Nice job, man. Good luck with your appeal, which is what I said. There's no way he's going to appeal. There's no way he's going to win an appeal. It's over. In the end, though, I hope that the victim can finally live with her life free of this very sick man's clutches. I also hope that the law eventually catches up with all those people who deserve it. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Mujin. P.S. I also need to mention that your politics mean less to me than the dirt under my shoe. I am not an American citizen. I don't hold a green card, and I don't even have a U.S. tourist visa. I don't have a political horse in the race because your country means absolutely nothing to me, so don't even try to twist it that way. And fun fact, you can dislike Hassan, Mizkif, and Tectone at the same time. This isn't a football match. Stop being tribal like a Neanderthal and make your own decisions. Well, let's be very clear, Mujin. You did the same thing, okay? You did the same thing. Okay, now that you're seeing the light, you're finally saying that. Okay, and here we go to Brax's TLDR. We don't need a TLDR. We're going to read the whole thing. There's a clip going around of me mentioning Pink's mental health issues, saying it's possible she lied in court, and then saying, I want to wait until the documents come out. I'm not even that big of a creator or anything, so I don't think it's going to get that big. But just so you know, that was me before reading over the case. That does not represent my current thoughts, and it was a poor judgment on my part. I shouldn't have let the fact that Tectone was previously a good friend to obstruct my vision. Again, I still believe waiting for documents was the right thing to do. I don't particularly think Mizkif is the best person to be sourcing information like that from. Me either. I agree with that. But at the same time, he's the only one that had it. He was the only one going out and talking about it. And I don't have a defamation lawsuit like Asman told is making the excuses for. Although today, he could literally acquire the transcripts and do that content, but he won't. He won't. and you wonder why, especially given the situation he's in with Emmy. But implying that there was even a possibility of Pink lying goes to show how much I didn't want to believe Tectone did something so horrible, despite the writing on the wall. Um, Even though Tectone helped me while I was going through difficult times, knowing now what has come to light about him, I do not want to be someone like I do not want someone like him in my life, and I don't want to be associated with him. I apologize for any unfair assumptions I made about Pink, and I hope she gets the justice and healing she deserves. When someone approaches you during a low point and offers a hand, most of the time you take it, especially if that person's worst crimes you knew of were disagreeing with others. I confided in Tectone because in the space full of fake ass people trying to do whatever they can for clout and money, he felt like a very genuine person to me and extended his hand. And for what it's worth, I think I really needed that because I've struggled with finding real people who wouldn't lie to me or dodge me if I YouTube Twitch views didn't line up with their view with theirs. Especially since COVID, YouTube especially is a very lonely job. What are you talking about, dude? It's a job. Why you the collaborations and all these things, like, you don't need that. That's not important in this job. I don't know why these people have, this is part of the job. It's a bit lonely. Okay, from there, even though we weren't super close friends, I always felt like he was one of the few creator friends that I'd met who had my back. And whenever he was wrapped up in a controversy before he started grifting hard, I always chalked it up to Twitter being full of people who need other people to make decisions for them, which is still true. There's a ton of very loud people like that, but obviously not everyone. And he was always good at explaining his thought process. Was he? Was he really, though, Brax? Okay. I stopped hanging out with him pretty much full stop a bit after the Charlie Kirk incident because he went full extremist right-wing grift mode. I can be friends with someone who have different political opinions, but when things get extreme, I'm not as good at handling it. Okay. While I heard things about Pink, even though I didn't think too much of it since it wasn't my business, those impressions still stuck with me. It's not a secret that most streamers and YouTubers who've made it big in the past 5 to 10 years struggle with some sort of depression, anxiety, or have something else going on with them. In my case, ADHD, anxiety, and depression. The rest of the industry surrounding CCs also usually struggle with mental health. It's not an excuse, but it's a contributor for why some of the people act certain ways. I just took his word for how his relationship with Pink was since they were together for a time. I also wasn't aware of Tectone's schizophrenia, which apparently was made public, but I never really went looking for it. Listen, for every one of these content creators that have collaborated with Tectone that are in this gotcha scene, okay, your silence says everything because you've already admitted that many people suffer from these mental health issues, right? And you saying stuff like, it wasn't really my thing. When Tectone's out there, belittling, trying to intimidate, trying to harm potentially. Okay, now we can say that specifically. Someone else, and you think it's not your business to speak up in this space as a gotcha content creator when Tectone is the biggest content creator and you benefit from that in some shape or form. That, my friend, is very, very revealing. Yeah, I know, Liddy. I know. It's these people are literally trying to just get away scot-free. The good news is they won't because I'm here, but then again, they will because I'm only going to have, a couple people watch this, but it doesn't matter. It's not why I do it. I do it at principle. I probably shouldn't have taken his word for it, but I also really think there was a reason for him to lie to me. I didn't really think there was a lie. Didn't really think there was a thing for lie. If he did what he did, which everybody had said he did, of course they're going to lie to you. They're going to lie to anybody. It's so stupid, especially given the fact that there was no trial or case or anything like that at the time. Either way, that was a poor judgment on my part. It doesn't have to be that. His behavior, his rhetoric, even to your own admission, was enough. And you chose not to say anything because why? You benefited from it. And why are you doing this now? Why are you distancing yourself from Tectone? You benefit from it. Or at the very least, you will not be brought down by him. So again, that's a benefit. I don't even know how to properly describe how I'm feeling right now. Pissed, sad, disgusted, kind of just feels like all the above. It sucks to have someone who thought was a good person putting on an act and online actually just turned out to be someone with multiple masks. It sucks to put your trust in someone who had your back so long and find out that they're not the person you thought they were. I'm disappointed, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm disgusted, and I'm sorry. I am not sorry I didn't immediately choose a side because I still believe the right thing to do is to wait until all the documents were out to make an unbiased decision, but I'm sorry to Pink for making assumptions about her, which you did, Brax. So you say that you're going to wait for documents, say you're going to wait for all the facts to come out, but every opportunity that you've ever had, including the part where you said that she was mentally fucking ill, you piece of shit, okay? Who didn't wait for the facts then, did they? Before the medical records to indicate that she might be suffering a mental health issue, which wouldn't even be a fucking thing or an excuse to have to try to rationalize this abuse. But again, we know why you're doing this right now, Brax, and it says a lot about you. I'm not trying to increase your anxiety or your depression or your I'm not trying to do any of that. All right, this is not a threat. This is not. I'm just trying to be very clear that this statement is obviously no different than an executive making a statement based on layoffs or anything like that. It's very procedural. All right, ain't nobody believe you're sorry about this. So just continue to go with your gotcha scenes. Maybe next time, just shut the fuck up and just play your fucking games and don't respond at all to anybody ever, even if they ask. If they ask, say, you know what, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I don't want you in my community. Because you have your sheepest, herdest, cultist people there anyway. They'll stay regardless. You can't grow. That's unfortunate. Boo-hoo, okay? But you'll be able to sustain yourself maybe. Unless you're a greedy little bitch, which I don't know if you are. Tectone is. Then again, you're going to want everybody. All right, where was I at? All right, sorry, I got kind of clouded there. My brain started going everywhere. And it's likely hurt a lot of people and it likely hurt a lot of you guys for me to remain friends with him until now. Oh, yes, of course. I made a decision to cut him out of my life going forward. And I've also messaged Pink privately to apologize. I didn't know there was much else to say. Oh, yeah. We're going to go there right now, Liddy. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about that. And we're also going to go to Nicholas Lights. Oh, yeah. Don't you worry about that. You are right on track, my friend. You are right on track. You read my mind. That's exactly where I was going to go next. Where is it? All right. This fucking thing. Okay. I just want you to know. At the time of me looking at this stuff previously, it was 15 hours. All right. So my live stream was 16 hours ago at the time that I looked at this. Brax made a statement an hour later. And then subsequently, I believe Nicholas made this an hour after that. And I'm not giving this guy any credit because we all know I have a clip on my channel of him saying, I have to do it again. I have to do it again because none of you watched this fucking video to the extent that you should have. So now you have to bear with me while I find Nicholas Light's. Oh wait, no, I never mind. I can just go to my stuff. Watch this. 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 Content. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Nicholas. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. That's not the right one. Shit. Where is it? It's not Silver Palace. It's what did I say it was that? Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. You know what? Just do it the old way. Do it the old way. Do it the hard way. You can go back to your video and do that, but I'm not going to do that. Do it the hard way. All right, here we go. Bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. Stay with me. I know. This is annoying. Please, you guys don't edit. Here we go, right here. This is it. I found it again. All right, here we go. We have to do this every time we talk about Nicholas.
To keep you covered.
Yeah, whether it's on your car insurance.
Or taking a break from being the auto tune.
Hello, YouTube. Welcome to America. What is this? And listen, you can live past this. You can. I mean, okay. First of all, I say this with so many caveats, but you can be a better person, right? And this is probably just him acting and whatever, playing. I don't even know why you would even do this. It's so confoundingly stupid, or disturbingly creepy. And I'm gonna suggest it's disturbingly creepy. Yep, this video right here, Liddy. This video right here. Get ready.
Bye. You're not missing
Get
anything
ready
on that screen, by the way.
Get
Goodbye.
ready. Get ready.
All right, let's just
Get ready. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna literally watch what I'm gonna do here. If you want to see, and I should even censor this on my channel, but if you want to see the person that he's gonna remark,
bro, this city's
about-
beautiful. Oh shit,
he even says the name,
I'll talk
so
to everybody
you
later.
won't even have to guess.
British. Yeah. Oh, there's a little girl. What's her name? Zhao Sui. Can I make a baby? Oh fuck!
This guy, the lolly guy, the lolly guy, the lollipop kids, the lollipop kids. All right, now that we know that, let's read Nicholas Light's statement about all these people who are now talking and distancing themselves from Tectone, and he's not. These retards on Twitter, especially Braxophone, believe in all the bullshit and lies being said about you. Oh, Tectone. I can't. I don't know if I can do that. Can I do that on YouTube? I just did it. I just like. I don't even want to say the word. All right. All because of politics, bro. We just read two fucking statements from Braxophone and from Mugen saying this has nothing to do with politics, and you trying to make it political is embarrassing. All right. This has everything to do with the gotcha space. This has everything to do with behaviors that have been consistent, that have had a pattern, that everyone that is friends with Tectone has known and has chose to ignore. And now that there are more facts out, now there is literally justice. Okay, I just showed a video. I've showed that clip 3 times in the last 24 hours. You, Nicholas, can't walk it back, and you do one step above that, which is even more egregious. You blame politics for this. That says a lot. They refuse to listen to the facts. They don't even understand what a civil hearing is. They truly believe you're a convicted criminal. Lol. Any woman could do this to a man. No proof needed. Amber Heard, this is another thing that was used by Mugen. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, go fuck yourself, dude. If the transcripts, which I'm trying to get, by the way, everybody, I think I will be able to react to Mizkiv's getting them later today, but they're going to cost him $750 too. the transcripts, okay? But even if we don't have the transcripts, Ms. Kiv's narrative of notes, thank God he did have somebody in the courtroom, is enough proof. All right. This is not an Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation. All right. Tectone literally walked into the prosecution's narrative multiple times during the testimony. He said the stupidest shit you can do as a witness, even though he had 5 lawyers, one of which is an ex-judge, which was appointed by the state of fucking Texas, which doesn't mean anything, to be honest, actually. I'm not going to get into why that doesn't mean anything because I'm not going to slander anybody, or I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to slander judges today. I have my own issues with the justice system. And all the feminists cuck NBCs online will believe it. That's the only people that will believe it. That's the only people that will believe it. Making it a leftist, fanatical, LGBTQA plus narrative. Right. This is your audience, Nicholas. The same audience. How many times is too many times? The same audience that likes when you, apparently, because you either do this to entertain them or you do this for yourself. If you do this for yourself, do I need to say anything? If you're doing it for entertainment, then it's either your audience is all creeps and potentially worse, or you are, or both. Let's go back here.
All right. Bro, this city's beautiful. Oh, shit. I'll talk to everybody later. British. Yeah. Oh, there's a little girl. What's her name? Zhao Sui. Can I make a baby? Oh, fuck!
Okay. All right. 4th time in 24 hours. I don't think I'll do another, but I don't know. If my brain is tricky sometimes. It's all okay. Will believe it and falsely claim men of these crimes because it fits their agenda. What agenda do you have? You have an agenda as well, apparently. All right. And I'm not saying there's not fanaticals on either side of the political side that is going to make things up and be hyperbolic. Of course, that is true. But you're using that for a very, very you're using that for a very specific reason, and that reason is so disingenuous and so calculated and so diminishing that it constantly is used, and it's what I always push back on Tectone whenever he was talking about Pikachu or anybody else online. I told him to shut the fuck up every time, all the time. Yeah, in the gotcha space, John? Yeah, I get it. To any man believing all of this garbage online, this could happen to you. Oh, and fuck a miskipper. Listen, is it true that the deal... Hold on. Is it Nicholas quit Arcanite's Enfield so fast without giving it a chance? Probably because, you know what? Mod? You said it. You said it, not me. You said it, not me. I even think that game does, but let me add to your statement. They may not be young enough. They may not be young enough. I might get sued today. All right. Sorry, I'm dealing with something else. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't even know what I was gonna say. I went full screen for something, and I totally lost my train of thought. All right, moving on. All right, we have to now react to our other friend, Gotcha Smack. God, it would be better if he didn't say anything, but he chose to say something. And him saying something and saying nothing, actually, but saying something does say a lot too. Oh. Let's see if it's still up. Oh, okay. 3 hours ago. All right. I'm going to use a different voice for this, and I don't mean it to be condescending or to imply that Gotcha Smack is a bodybuilder. I just use a different voice for Nicholas. I'm going to use a different voice for Gotcha, and I don't really have that wide range of voices. So this has nothing to do personally with Gotcha. I have one simple rule that keeps me out of trouble. Stay out of other people's affairs unless it directly involves you. If you can't do this, then don't be surprised when the baggage eventually becomes unbearable. It's even biblical. Make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. Mind your own business and work with your own hands. 1 Theologians 4:11. This is why I don't practice. This is why I'm a fucking atheist. Okay. This whole worry about you thy and not they and thee and thy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Theologian. If this is what it says, this is why I continuously get discouraged by, the church. Let's see if I can go back to my voice. Meddling in others' drama always invites trouble and makes you an easy target. I've watched people create lifelong enemies just because they couldn't stay in their lane. Those grudges don't fade. I've seen good intention help cost folks everything they built. And yeah, some build careers off being nosy. It's good pay to be honest, or to be fair, until the internet mimics that career path in your direction. Trust me, your own life has more than enough that needs handling. Being nosy is just one of the habits or career paths you can pick. Mind your business. You know what? This may be the worst statement we've read all single day. Minding your business, okay? I understand that. I do. Stay in your lane. I understand that. All that bravado, all that macho shit, all that, living in a fenced off fucking, compound and don't care what your neighbors do, or if you do, you just don't talk about it, like those kind of things. All right. Although I don't necessarily adhere to that, if you see something, say something, because we wouldn't be in this society if people actually spoke up. But yet we've had a culture, we've had a generation of silence. So this philosophy has gotten us where we're at today. I don't know if you're happy with the current state of the United States of America, but part of the reason why we're here is because people didn't speak up. And then when they did speak up, they were silenced or mitigated. Okay? You had a chance to take a stance. And you would have been better if your whole philosophy is just to mind your own business, just to shut the fuck up. But why didn't you shut the fuck up, Gotcha? Why didn't you shut the fuck up? Let me full screen this. Why didn't Gotcha shut the fuck up? That is the question, Roger. Roger is now my imaginary friend that I talk to when I don't have anybody else because I don't collaborate with anybody. Roger, if you watched the previous video, I talked about Roger. Roger was the person that introduced some prizes that the contestants won. Roger is my new friend. Roger, why did Gotcha speak up and not stay silent? Gotcha spoke up because I think he went live on stream 1, 2, 3 days ago, and his community's asking him, what about Tectone? 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 He could ignore it. He could be like, I'm not going to talk about that. Instead, he made a statement so that he can stop the people asking him what about Tectone. Okay? Instead of asking about Tectone, because you knew it would not stop. Why wouldn't it stop, Gotcha Smack? Because you chose a while ago to affiliate, to connect, to collaborate with Tectone. And that choice is fine because you didn't know at the time that he was this person, I'm sure, right? You didn't know at the time that he was this person. But for the year that you've benefited from having Tectone as a friend, you did know. And what did you do during that time? You shut the fuck up. And what did you get from that friendship, from that collaboration, from that exposure? Which your chat is asking you about Tectone because it's all connected. Because he's the biggest Gotcha content creator out there, Tectone was. and it all trickled down to you. What did you get? Success. That's the difference, isn't it? That's the difference. So your philosophy, intro effecto, okay, is so hypocritical that it actually borders on, okay, in my mind, it's not criminal, but it is criminal. It's criminal because of your negligence, okay? It's criminal because of your ignorance. So you would have been better just to shut the fuck up, but you couldn't. So you made this fucking stupid ass statement, and you made it about church, and then fucking Nicholas made it about politics. You both can literally go and turn your head around and go fuck yourself, okay? Because these statements suck. Even Brack's statement sucks, okay? Even Mujin's statement sucks. Let's be very clear. They all kind of suck, all right? And yours is not worse than theirs. It's equally sucky. Yeah, maybe you should have told that to Tectone earlier. Maybe. I don't know. Roger, what do you think? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Roger agrees. All right. I have my phone charged in the background. Let me go get it. All right. Let me go check something real quick. I'm not blasting anybody. I'm not calling anybody out or anything like that. I'm just seeing something real quick. I'm curious. Okay, guys. I have no money donated to my funds. So we're not going to get these transcripts. We're going to have to rely on somebody else to get them probably. That's totally fine. I never expected anybody here or in general to donate this. I just wanted to have the have it known that I've been trying to acquire these things, and then when I got the response that it cost that much, I was like, okay. And I'm not even doing that now as a way for you to like go, oh no, I'll support him now. No, that's not it. That's not what I'm doing this for. All right. So let me ask the chat: is there anywhere else that I should go to look for people that have supported him that are now coming out with statements like this? Oh, look at Rob providing receipts. Look at Rob providing receipts. Oh yeah, you're gonna stay silent, but then when this was going on, you went all in again because you're a greedy little bitch. Gotcha, bro. No fucking way. No fucking way. Is he live? Is Santonto's live? We will go rag on him big time. Is Santonto's right? What did he say? What was the gist of it, John? Do we know the gist of it? I'm sure somebody screen capped it. He's big enough for it to be in the Wayback Time Machine, but it probably won't. It probably wouldn't stick if he did it in the same day. Replying to Nicholas Light, one way to address this and send message is to pull up and ban chatters demanding you do things like you owe them. Unless it's something you literally bankroll on your channel via subs, dono, use them and throw a bone. Don't let viewers set the standard that you'll bend to everything. Gotcha is waiting for you, bro. Oh, this is about the copyright strikes. Let's all shift blame to Santonto because why the fuck not? I don't want to get into this gotcha stuff because I don't cover gotcha anymore. But is he live? Is Santontos live? Let's see. Oh, I don't think he is. I don't think he's live. Santontos? Oh yeah, he is live. He said patience is a virtue. As if trying to support him, right? Hold on one second, I gotta find this. I was on my other account. I'm not gonna tell you why I'm on my other account. I'm not gonna do that. All right, here we go. Here we go. I don't think he didn't even respond to me last time. Why did I'm gonna get banned from this, by the way? Why did you delete your tweet about Tectone? Oh, is he still banned? Is Tectone not even part of the register anymore? Did they ban him outright because of his protective order, which he was spewing all the time on Twitch? Let me get his audio up.
I'm going to be honest with you. And if you're somebody that's decided to stick with this game, this is the fucking Hoyerverse
You don't have
treatment.
to do anything, Liddy. You're totally fine.
This is the Hoyerverse treatment, ladies and gentlemen. And that is ignore your invested players. Ignore the players that have concerns and only address those that might have the ability to give you money. Because guess what? The people playing
what the
right
fuck
now,
is this rhetoric?
guys, the people playing right now, oh, they're not spending money on this fucking game because it doesn't deserve it. And so why not just appeal to the new crowd of people who don't have a tarnished image of this game because they haven't played it yet? Because guess what, guys? Anyone that's played this game for a certain number of hours probably has some very harsh feedback to give to the devs. Because they made the experience in 1.0 really, really, really fucking bad if you don't pay. And unless you're somebody that's going to just ignore the actual game and only play it and engage in the factory, you'll have the same fucking take as me. Because progression here is one of the most painful things this space has ever seen. So, yeah. All I'm going to say is that these patch notes don't fix anything. These patch notes don't address anything. I'm incredibly disappointed by them. I'm incredibly disappointed by the compensation. And basically, I think the main thing that to keep an eye on moving forward when it comes to these guys is well, how they're just going to let you down again in the future. Cuz what the fuck is this as an address? What is this as like a 1 week in patch note that doesn't address any of the concerns, any of the problems, any of the issues that anyone had talked about before? And all they do is fix the bugs that should have been caught in their beta. Awesome, great.
Twitch Online. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to change that, guys.
On the planet.
Amazing. I'm not very good at this kind of stuff.
Peace out. Because you're all beta testers like me too.
How do I do that? I don't know how to go to dark mode. I forget.
There we go.
Oh, it was
there
a video.
We go.
It was a video.
Alrighty.
I'm going to dark mode over here. I don't even know.
Alrighty.
They banned me already.
There we go, guys.
Watch this. Watch this, though. Watch this.
Imagine we got to farm them like this again, boys. Imagine we got to farm them like this again.
Watch this revival.
How dare they put out patch
Watch
notes
this revival.
fucking bad.
Watch this revival.
Guys,
hold on.
Because you want to know what the chances are?
Hold on one second. Is this against the terms?
It's legitimately... Oh, I forgot to mention this.
I probably shouldn't do that online. Never mind. I won't do that. Dude, the guy can't even let me talk. He can't even have a conversation with me. I whispered another guy to try to get Santo's attention. He obviously saw it.
Spit in the
he didn't want
face
anything to do with
for
it. This guy,
players, or really experienced players, the veterans.
I was playful with Santontos. I was playful for Santontos for a while. But just that rhetoric coming into this stream and hearing what he has to say, I haven't watched any of Santontos covers for a very long time. It's so bad. It's so bad. I know it's for a video, but this community, man, and the content creators, you know, propagating it, it's just so bad. It's so bad. Let's see if Denims, who does not allow,
and you know, like even Stacy said, he's gonna find a way.
She's not even covering Tectone anymore, and you can't go back on her stream because she doesn't allow that, which is bull crap. They obviously do it so you can't catch them, and they probably will edit anything that they want to edit out. They're gonna censor the stuff. Let me see if there's anybody else here. If not, we'll end the stream because I'm not gonna sit here and just wait. Is Miskip online? Let me go to Kick and see if he's online. Because if he's getting the documents, he should be online. He knows there's pretty big stuff going on. Let's see, is he online yet? Has anybody tweeted about these? I'm trying to see. I'm trying to get some resolution here. Tweets. No, that's not the right one. I'll go back to the full screen, no, or the half screen here. All right, I'll get you guys back. Get you guys back. Here you go. Come back. We're getting integrated back into it. Okay, here we go. All right. Tectone plus transcripts. Anything. Talking about his father's. All right. I blame being friends with Tectone on my mental health. I'm sorry. How do you guys? Okay, Brax. Let me go to Miskip, see if he's updated anything. Let's see if he's got an update for the things. Nothing. Radio silence for 16 hours. Mitch showed this is fake, just some weird shit. Miskip pulls up receipts and says Mitch Jones tried playing someone to expel. I don't know. That's some other kind of controversy going on. Live talking about it. So there's no updates here. Listen, transcripts are available, but they are at a premium. Miskip can afford it. The problem is if he didn't pay for the transcripts earlier today, he ain't getting them today. Based on the last request from this court reporter is that if I paid today, that I might get them this afternoon. Okay, but the later I pay, the later I receive. So you'd have to make that commitment earlier. Maybe there'll be a special deal on them after they've been older. No, of course not. Of course not. That's why he didn't even want to deal with it. I mean, he shouldn't have tweeted it to begin with. He probably got ratioed so hard. He's like, I don't need this in my life anymore. All right. I'm gonna let this VOD, whatever it's called, stay on here. I have other videos. I have other content that I need to do. And I have a life that I need to get back to. I just wanted to do an impromptu stream, give you guys an update on the transcript. Transcripts are available. Okay. They just cost a pretty exorbitant amount of money. And I do think there is value in it. I might decide to do it on my own, but I doubt it. I am going to wait until at least tomorrow to see if anybody does obtain them, either through their business expense or not. I'm not willing to do that because it's not really a business. For me, it's more of a hobby. If that's the case, then I'll obviously use their coverage and react to that. So we'll see. I'm going to end the stream now because there's not really much else for me to talk about, admittedly. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, girls, and days, and everybody else. I'll see you all soon.